Greetings, fellow members of the Esoteric Order of Gamers. What do we have here? It's a mysterious brown box. Well, there's actually no surprise because you can just look at the title of this video and work out what it is. It is, in fact, the new Necromunda by Games Workshop. And I thought we'd start right at the start and rip open the cardboard. And here it is. I've got Gang War, which is the extra rule book, and here's the box. Oh, it's quite heavy actually. Oh, which is good to see. There it is, folks. Necromunda Underhive. I'm a big fan of Necromunda. It's one of my favourite old games. In fact, let's just find it. And here it is, the original Necromunda. Look at that. Look at those bright colours. Such a good game. I've played this many times over the years and really enjoyed it. And it came with a lot of great stuff. Look at all that fantastic terrain you got back in those days. Let's have a look at the new Necromunda. Brutal gang warfare in the 41st millennium. Oh, get a bit of shrink wrap off. I'm glad Games Workshop is still making these big boxes. Look, it's exactly the same size as the old one, which I just think is really nice. So many years have passed. Well, plastic. Look at all that. And it's got some clear plastic templates there. Just the standard Warhammer 40,000 ones, I guess, being repurposed in here. And, wow, lots and lots of plastic. There's 4 sprues there. There's a couple of sprues of barricades and doors. I'll have a closer look at these in a moment. There's a big sheet putting them together, and it's crazy quality. This is silly. This is really thick, glossy paper just for your construction guide, which just seems a waste of money, really. That's very weird. Anyway, there you go. Oh, we've got a rule book. It's quite thick. We've got what looks like a clear range ruler. Oh, plastic bag. Some bases, and these are bases with a sort of bulkhead texture on them, which is nice. Some dice. Quite a lot of cards. Look at all those cards. And a big heavy load of cardboard. Wow. And the other thing they've done, which Games Workshop are doing quite a lot these days, is they've pretended that the box is a terrain element. Yeah. Right, let's have a closer look at all this stuff. So first we've got a pile of cardboard. Let's have a look. These are the tiles that make up the game, because the strange thing about this version of Necromunda, at least this Underhive boxed edition, is that it is played in 2 dimensions. Now, the original Necromunda was a tabletop skirmish game played in 3 dimensions. You had lots of buildings and up and down and line of sight and all that kind of stuff. And the rules for that kind of play come in this extra slim book. You know how much this is in New Zealand? 50 New Zealand dollars. Now, this is what we call a rip-off. That is too much money for that. I know I do go on and on about New Zealand prices when it comes to Games Workshop, but they are ridiculous. And this little rule set should have been in this box set, which I might add cost 155 New Zealand dollars. So, I'm a bit annoyed about that, but to play Necromunda, you've got to have the 3D rules. They've separated out into this extra book, which I think is mean. Oh, yes, strong words from the Esoteric Order of Gamers, but that's how it goes. Of course, here I am, I've bought them, and I'm just part of the problem, I guess. So we've got lots of counters, and these are our tiles. So this is our 2D terrain, and they're pretty standard square industrial looking tiles. They're thick and they're good quality, and they've got a matte varnish on them, but there's nothing too crazily exciting about them, is there? They're pretty flat graphics with a bit of Photoshop rubble over the top. It's not even illustrated, this rubble, it's just photographed and put over the top. Not actually too impressed by that, but I I guess they'll do the job for what is a sort of introductory version of the game. Yeah, not the best kind of artwork. This isn't really up to Games Workshop's usual standards. So, there's our cardboard bits. What about these? These are the bases for our figures. And they're quite nice. It's nice to see some textured bases for a change. Of course, there's skulls on some of them. There's always skulls on things, and they make the bases a little bit more interesting. I think that's a nice touch. There's also some custom dice. We've got some normal 6-sided dice here, and custom ones with various symbols on them. Love the yellow and black. It's really nice. It brings to mind the hazmat stripes that are so synonymous with Necromunda. Now we've got this big deck of cards. We've got tactics cards and what looks like some reference cards as well. So these are reference cards that you can fill out yourself, just blank ones. So there's quite a few of those. Then we've got reference cards for the two gangs that come in the set, which are the Goliath gang and the Escher gang. Unfortunately, no photo of the figure, but I suppose since you can make up the figures any way you like, that wouldn't be appropriate. And these are tactics cards, which you can play during the game to shake things up a bit. Now, I believe some of these are specific to the gang, so you've got Escher Tactics down here. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. You've got Goliath Tactics, 4 of those here, and then you've got General Gang Tactics. Now, in another example of rip-offery, which I'm really annoyed about, they make available separate tactics cards for Escher and Goliath gangs. Again, not in this set. And they sell those in New Zealand at $27 each. You get 20 cards for $27. So if you want extra strategy cards like this, and specific ones for the gangs, more options for them, it's going to cost you another, what, $54. I really hope this isn't a new trick of Games Workshop to start doling out bits like this when they should all be in the one game, because having to pay another $54 for cards is even more insulting than having to pay another $50 for a slim little softback rulebook. Anyway, moving on. So here's our rulebook. It comes with a couple of reference sheets. There's the actions that different fighters can do. Some nice glossy paper. And a nice thick rulebook. And it is pretty thick, isn't it? Look, there's about 106 pages or so. And it's chockers with text on quite a dark background. And, well, there's a lot of reading there. Some good artwork too. See, they just could have taken a Gang War supplement and plonked that in the box like that. Anyway, there's our rulebook. And I believe it's very similar to the original Necromunda, with also some influence from the new version of Warhammer 40,000. So a lot to digest there. Now it's time to look at the plastic, and you get 2 sprues of barricades and doorways. And this is where comparisons really suffer with the original Necromunda, because that came with a whole heap of cardboard terrain with plastic bulkhead pieces that you could put together. And it made some fantastic terrain. Here you just have these elements sitting on your 2D tiles. But of course you can buy from the extensive range of industrial terrain that Games Workshop make now to build your own battlefield. So some nice looking doors, some barricades there, and then you've got the figures themselves. There's a Goliath sprue, there's some Escher stuff, there's a bit of a whip there. And these actually look identical. This is the other Escher sprue. And another Goliath sprue. Again, is that identical? No, that one's different. There you go. So 4 sprues of figures. And of course, these are up to the usual Games Workshop quality. They're very detailed and lots of options. It's going to take quite a bit of hobby time to put together. There you have it, folks, the new Necromunda Underhive. And while I really was quite happy with my original Necromunda game, of course a lot of people don't have that old version and are keen to get into this gang warfare game. My thoughts? Well, it's hard to say before I play it. I'm sure the 2D version will be amusing, but not quite as amusing as the 3D version. And as you could tell from the start of this video, I'm quite miffed at having to pay another $50 just for that slim rulebook for those extra rules. And I don't like the fact that I also have to pay another $50 or so just to get a few extra gang cards. But apart from that, it looks like a good quality production. The figures look nice, and certainly the pictures I've seen of them put together and painted look fantastic. Personally, I'm looking forward to the Delark gang because that was my favourite one back in the day, and it'll be interesting to see how that's reimagined. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing of Necromunda Underhive by Games Workshop. And finally, if you don't know yet, the Esoteric Order of Gamers now has memberships. Yes, you can sign up to become an official member of the Esoteric Order of Gamers just by going to the website and clicking the button, and you'll be taken to a shop site where you can choose a subscription to support the work that the Esoteric Order of Gamers does. And when I say the Esoteric Order of Gamers, I mean me, because I do all the work. That's Peter, Universal Head, and I would really, really appreciate your support so I can keep bringing out lots of great gaming stuff, not only rules summaries, but videos like these. And we've got some more battle reports coming up soon. So please consider going to the site and supporting my work. I really appreciate it. Thank you, and see you next time.